Matlala refuses to answer, but what is he hiding? Drama is escalating as Vusamuzi Cat Matlala faces intense questioning over a Luxor Africa bank card allegedly linked to his financial dealings. Before we continue, please kindly subscribe, like and comment your opinion below. When questioned about the card and its spending, Matlala invoked his right against self-incrimination, refusing to provide answers that he says could expose him to further criminal liability. But here is where the story gets even more interesting. Luxor Africa has reportedly emerged in connection with a co-accused in the money laundering case, raising serious questions about the movement of money and the relationships behind these transactions.
Where we land is, Mr. Matlala, when you deal in your supplementary with the issue raised in paragraph 2.3.2, you will definitively state whether or not there is ongoing investigation in respect of the impalas, and then you deal with the issue of impalas the best as you can.
Yes.
And who is conducting such an investigation?
Is the, what is it called, GCI Ops, GCI Ops, Gauteng Counterintelligence Operations.
Well, these are matters you'll confirm in your supplementary, because it is important. Once you say there are investigations, then it presupposes that you know who's conducting them.
Yes, yes.
So you will state that fact in your supplementary. Thank you. We then turn to item 2.
Sorry,
yes.
Before you step off, just so that nothing falls between the cracks, that paragraph 2.3.2 speaks to it raises two questions. There's the impala delivery and there's any gratification, any other gratification. So I'm assuming that you adopt the same posture in respect of any other gratifications, and that you will then deal with it in your supplementary affidavit as well.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Mr.
Thank you, Commissioner. That then brings us to the question set out in paragraph 2.3.3, and this required you to speak to the circumstances in which Sergeant Faninkosi came into possession of the Luxor Africa bank card. You were required to list all the periods when he had possession of the card and what, when, and for what he used this card. This you deal with at your page, starting at the bottom of page 13, where you have a heading at paragraph 2.3.3, and you deal with the Luxor Africa brand card at paragraph 16. So if you could take it from there.
Luxor Africa brand is my co-accused in the Medicare tender matter, and as such, I'm unable to respond to the question posed on the paragraph under reply. I'm of the view that I might incriminate myself by answering questions related to Ngozi and Luxor Africa in view of the pending case before the Specialized Commercial Crimes Court.
On that score, then if we, just so we always know what we are dealing with, is this the case you reference at paragraph 7.2 of your statement at page 9? Is that the Specialized Crimes Court, Commercial Crimes Court case? If you could go to page 9.
Yes, no, yeah.
It is.
Yes.
Then if you go still to staying with page 9, paragraph 7.2, you recall we discussed the companies, your companies, through which you participated in the security services sector and the health sector. And we had identified Medicare 2420 Pty Limited, which you referenced at paragraph 7.2. At 8, you introduced Cat Protection and Security Services trading as Cat VIP. That's in the security industry. And the third is what the company you referenced at paragraph 9 that I think you named Black AK.
Black
Yeah.
AK Trading
Black
and
AK
Suppliers.
trading and suppliers, which you say you established in 28. So those are the 3 companies we earlier in the morning established. You participated in the 2 sectors. Against that understanding, are you able to highlight what is the relevance then of firstly Luxor Africa brand and what your association with that particular company is, for purposes of the health sector or the security sector, as you had testified?
No, this company, it didn't have any relation with any government entity at all.
Yes.
So the funds that I've been transferring funds from my Medicare account to this company.
Okay.
And so this company has been charged with money laundering because they've been following all the monies that been coming from the SAPS tender.
Yes.
So this is how this company ended up being my co-accused.
I understand.
So is the statement is no longer being projected?
Thank you, Chair. Apologies, went on the blink for a second there. Now, the rank, Mr. Nkosi, Sergeant Nkosi. Sergeant Nkosi is not an accused in the case you reference here, is he?
No, he's not.
He's not. And the question related not to the inflow of funds into the Luxor Africa Bank account, which you've just explained, that it came from Medicare, the Medicare account. It is the outflow by Sergeant Nkosi. How does that potentially impact the criminal case?
Because now I'm mentioning my co-accused, which I also, Lux of Africa is my co-accused.
Yes.
So the money that went to Sergeant Nkosi is from Lux of Africa. So I do not want to do that because now I still have to ventilate this in court. This Lux of Africa funds, how did they end up into Mr. Nkosi's account?
I understood you to say that the issue really is because it's Medicare 24 and it's Luxco receiving funds from Medicare 24. Perhaps if I ask, are those the only funds that Luxco has received in its account in the period of its existence?
Not that I can think of.
So there might be other sources.
Yes, it cannot be.
So if there are other sources, Sergeant Nkosi could potentially have been drawing from the other sources that are untainted by the Medicare funds. Again, I struggle to understand how then would that be relevant for the Medicare 24 case? Because this is the spending by Sergeant Nkosi.
It is relevant because it's something which is in the docket. And then it's something which I need to, in court, see how to defend and challenge those charges. It's in the docket as we speak, and then luckily I even have the disclosure of the docket.
Okay.
I can share it with the commission and see that it is there.
Perhaps then, because I just want to understand and draw a distinction between Luxco as a recipient and Sergeant Nkosi spending the money and sources of funds into that particular bank account. Is it possible then in dealing that we request in your supplementary statement to deal further with the issues that you raise in paragraph 16 and to set out in the supplementary statement regard being head to the question as posed at paragraph 2.3.3, how your right can't be self-incrimination because it's not yours. You are setting a right on behalf of your company that you don't incriminate your company. Is that my understanding?
Yes, it is, because the company, I'm representing the company.
Yes, but the company is an accused in its own right.
Yes.
So we could, perhaps, and I'm saying this mainly to your counsel who, and I believe she'll be assisting you with this, if you can specifically address the question of how Section 35 extends to the question posed at paragraph 2.3.3 in respect of Sergeant Nkosi utilizing the funds of Luxor Africa Bank.
Now, lawyers are debating a crucial question. Does Matlala's protection against self-incrimination extend to his company? That could become a major legal battle. Because this is no longer simply about a bank card. It is about who controlled the money, where it went, and whether answering questions could expose Matlala personally or his business to further legal consequences. And every question he refuses to answer could become part of the bigger picture. As the proceedings continue, the pressure is mounting. Is Matlala simply protecting his constitutional rights, or are his unanswered questions hiding a much bigger financial story? The legal battle is far from over.
And at paragraph 24, you are responding to the question posed at 2.5.7, and here you were requested to speak to your relationship, if any, to Mr. Brown Mokhotsi. You deal with that at page 24, starting at paragraph 16.
I can confirm that I came to know of Mr. Brown Mokhotsi when he called me at the time that the SAPS had raided my house. Prior to this incident, I had no dealings with Brown Mokhotsi. Brown Mokhotsi impersonated to me that he was from the office of the Minister of Police, and it will appear that he was using his strategy to entice me into giving him financial assistance.
Now, then you say prior to this incident, you had no dealings with Mr. Brown Mokhotsi. I'm reading your second sentence. Did you know him prior to him making this call to you?
No.
So with that statement that you had no prior dealings with him, it includes the fact that you didn't know him?
Yes, I've never, yes.
You had never met him before?
No.
You had never had any communication with him?
No.
Now, the raid at your house, if I understand it correctly, was the 6th of December 2024.
Yes.
So that is the operative date. And you indicate here that he called you at the time that SEPS raided your house.
Not the day, I think I'll say, the raid was on Friday, I remember.
Yes.
He called me, I think, on Sunday, 2 days after, yes.
So when you say at the time, you mean within a period around the date of the raid itself. And this, you are receiving a call code from somebody you don't know, you've never heard of before?
Yes.
And is there anything specific about this call that you think might be of relevance to the commission? Why are you putting it as a marker for a time frame?
Yes, he called and then he said to me, he's calling from the office of the minister.
Okay.
And then he's here to help me to open the case against the police.
Okay.
So I will say this, let me just go back and say why was he saying this? Because the following day, on Saturday after the raid, I was not sure whether those people are the police or not, because they were wearing balaclavas. And then they took my cell phones and my company firearms and my personal firearm. So I thought I was robbed. So I went to the police station the following day. And then I wanted to open a case. So when I was busy giving the police the statement, and I think by the time they were supposed to register the case or something, they just realized that no, these were actually real police, because those firearms, if they were taken by thieves, they were not going to book them in the what is it called, the SAP 13 in the police station. So by then now I knew that those were police because of the booked in my firearms. But still they did not register my case.
Okay.
So it was on Saturday when I went to open a case, the following morning. So on Sunday, Commissioner, you know, some of the things that I wouldn't want to comment on them, because it's things that I say I would feel like I will incriminate myself. But let me not. I want to proceed with this testimony, but let me please not mention some of the things. Maybe in my supplemental affidavit, I don't know how we will deal with it. But let me just proceed, and then you will tell me where you need clarity, and then we can take it from there. So,
Yes, go ahead.
yes. On Sunday, when he called me, he said he wants to help me in regards with opening a case against the police. And then I was interested because I wanted to open a case of harassment. And then that's when I got to know him. And then especially when he said he's from the Minister of the Police. And then because I know that there by the police station, they refused to open a case against the police, then he was willing to assist. So what I think when they came for the second time for the raid, he asked money from me. He said he wants to bring experts from the police to do the investigation to find out who are these people who came to my house. But by then he wanted money. And then, yes, I gave him that money. I think it was 20,000, I think. He said we must book accommodation for those investigators. So, that's when he started to raise a red flag for me that why would your police need money to do an investigation? But anyway, I gave him the money. And then when the police now came to my office, raided my office and went back to my house looking for me because they were supposed to charge me because I was not supposed to have a spare key of my office where I keep my firearms, which I did not know that is unlawful. So they said they wanted to arrest me for that thing. So they came to my house to arrest me for that. So, but I was not at home. So on my way to my house, I found out that the police are there already. My wife called me when I was on my way home, said the police are here. They're looking for you. But what worried me is the police were wearing balaclavas again, and then but I'm supposed to be charged for a case of having a spare key of your own safe. So I had my own suspicions that something must be wrong here. They will just send a normal investigators, maybe with police in uniform, but not people with rifles and balaclavas for a spare key. So that's when now I got engaged with Brown a lot, Mkhotsi a lot. And then he said to me, yes, he will help, and then to get to the bottom of this and find out who are these people actually. But at some point, I got a call from a person who was very close to the former minister. And he said, the former minister of police. And he said to me, listen, because that thing now was in the media. I've already opened, by then I've already, what is it called? That agent interdict, the High Court interdict, agent application. I've already done that to stop harassment, and it's already been in the media. So this guy called me and said, listen, I see you're having problems here. Come to KZN, then I have someone who will help you with this problem. Then that's when I got to know the former minister of police, Mr. Bekitele. So when I got to Mr. Bekitele, I'm still on Baron Mkhotsi anyway, not, but I want to give you the context of when I was with Mr. Bekitele, I showed him that, listen, this guy, I showed him my communication with him. He claims that he's from the Minister of Police, but he wants money from me, and then he also says that I was help them with the, what is it called? There's this function that ANC holds every year in January. I don't know what is it called. So, but he wanted money for that also. So, and then that's when the former Minister of Police said to me, you know what, continue giving this guy money. Maybe if you do that, then he lead us to, because he's saying that he's close with the Minister of Police. And then what are they doing, asking for money is something that is unlawful. Maybe if we can get to the bottom of this. So that's when I kept on sending Brown Mohoti money. So I paid also 150,000 to his account for that January 8th celebration of the ANC.
Now, I just want to retrace my steps